How's it going, guys? It's HellaMega tour in a week for the Minnesota show, and I've just been doing Green Day, Weezer, Fall Out Boy videos all the time. We did a top 10 for all three of them, so you can go check that out on my channel. And this one is ranking of every Weezer album. And surprise, surprise, there's a lot of Weezer albums. They are very consistent with their music. They probably release an album, sometimes 2 albums a year, you know. So they're very consistent with their albums. I mean, they're going to release 4 albums next year called Seasons, you know. So Weezer has 16 studio albums. This is not including live albums, B-sides, greatest hits, whatever you want to call them. It's just 16 studioed albums that by Weezer, you know what I'm saying? So, let's get into it. At number 16, we got Pacific Daydream. This album is the death of me. Actual garbage, though. This is like if AJR took Weezer and made them make an album. And then Rivers Cuomo featured on Sober Up with AJR that year. 15 is Death to False Metal. Now this one is just, I don't ever come back to it. I think I listened to it once, and that was during this album ranking. So the first, actually twice, I guess. But I don't ever listen to it. I feel like it's there. It's nothing too crazy, you know. It's not like one of my, like, I'm gonna listen to Death to False Metal today, you know what I'm saying? Back to the start with the lightning strap, kicking the door, more hardcore, rocking out like it's 90. Number 14, I'm not on the hype train, guys. Everything will be alright in the end. I've never been on this hype train. I don't see how people love this album. I think there's a couple solid tracks, and I think the last 3 are good instrumentals, but the rest of the album in a whole, I mean, it's just not built together the same way as I think any other Weezer album would, you know. At number 13, we have the Red Album. I've never, like, wanted to come back and listen to the Red Album. I mean, there's some good songs like Pork and Beans, Everybody Get Dangerous, Troublemaker even, you know, so there's some good songs off the album. I just don't come back to the album in a full. And Automatic, one of Weezer's worst songs to date, is also on that album. At number 12, we have the cover album, the Teal album. Now, when I first listened to this, it was shocking because they were going to get ready for the Black album, and then out of nowhere released the Teal album, and I was like, oh cool, and I listened to it, and it's just a bunch of 80s covers by Weezer. And I mean, it's good, you know, I like it. I got the CD, and it's definitely worth it, you know. They're good covers, you know, I'm not saying they're awful, except for the Mr. Blue Sky one. We're not going to get into that though. But yeah, it's good songs, good covers, a decent album. Number 11 is Ratitude, and how can you deny Weezer's probably most party album? You got, if you're wondering if I want you to, I'm Your Daddy, That Girl Got Hot, Can't Stop Party. Good album, it's a solid album. It's got some tracks where you're listening to it and you're like, okay, that's a little cringy, you know, but like the rest of the album is just really fun. It's Weezer just trying to put themselves out there, make a fun party record for the people. Number 10 is the Green Album, short but sweet. This was their shortest until OK Human came out, but kind of punk Weezer that everybody loves. And number 9 is Malidroit, and this is just Weezer at like the most punk they could ever do a album. Malidroit is such a good album. It's decent. It's to the point where I could listen to it and I'd be satisfied. And number 8 is the White Album. Now, I used to love this album. I don't know how it used to be in my top 5. It's definitely not top 5 worthy anymore. I think it's good. It's got some great tracks off there. It's got some of the best guitar solos, like I Love the USA and California Kids. But there are some songs where, like, you know, you get jacked up in there and you get like Sail in the Wind or Thank God for Girls that are just very cringy, and it makes your ears want to like throw up. At number 7 we have Make Believe, and this album is probably the most heaviest Weezer album, I would say. That and Van Weezer. This one, you just come on with those heavy guitars and it's just explosive on it. You know, you get Beverly Hills, Perfect Situation, We're All on Drugs. I love every track off this album, and there's nothing bad to it, I feel like. I mean, I don't come back to it as much as all the other ones, but it's still a good album. Number 6 is the Black Album. Now, I know a lot of people who hated this. You are wrong. This is Weezer at like a poppy, fun style, just trying something new, and it turned out great. This is the first Weezer album I actually bought, and it was worth it. Well, everybody needs a hero, but I'm not everybody else. I walk alone. To the top 5, we have Van Weezer. Now, this is their newest album according to this video, and it was set for HellaMega tour, and I love it so much. The 11 songs actually, are just beautiful. You know, you got Sheila Can Do It, Precious Metal Girl, End of the Game, Beginning of the End, Hero. It's just stacked with all these energetic punk 80s rock songs that you just get like freaking Nirvana or Metallica vibes from it all the time. It's really good. I love this album, and it's definitely Weezer's best car album. And at number 4 we have Pinkerton, probably the most memed Weezer album, or maybe the most memed album of all time. A lot of Weezer fans make fun of this album because it's called Pinkerton, and that's the only reason why, right guys? Right guys? It's a good album. Make me want to go back there, memories make me want to go back there. And number 3 is probably the most underrated Weezer album, and that's Hurley. This album is full of tracks. You got Unspoken, which is probably one of Weezer's best songs to date. You also have Memories, you have Ruling Me, Smart Girls, Where's My Sex. It is just full of absolute bangers after bangers after bangers. It's just an album that you can listen to and you know you're gonna like it. You can't just hate on an album called Hurley. Number 2 is OK Orchestra, which was released this year. I was not expecting Rivers Cuomo to pull out a orchestra, like 60s vibe out of his butt, and he did, and it came their second best album. Probably Weezer's best lyrics off an album. It's very emotional once you get to the end of the album, but at the beginning, you still got that fun Weezer like Grapes of Wrath and Alugabi, and even Playing My Piano, where he says Kim Jong-un could blow my city. No one would ever know. You know, for Weezer's shortest album, 10 songs long, and nobody expecting anything except for all my favorite songs, I was shocked. You were shocked. OK Human is definitely top 5 Weezer. Still at number 1 is the Blue Album. Just a classic album. It's full of classics of Weezer's. Every Weezer fan loves this album. If it's not in your top 5, you're probably not a true Weezer fan. Every song off this is a true classic to Weezer fans, and you just gotta love it. You know, it's a beautiful record. The Blue Album stands tall at number 1. Well, thanks for watching my Weezer album ranking here. I did a Fall Out Boy and a Green Day one down in the link description. I'll leave it down there if you want to go watch those. And yeah, HellaMega tours in 1 week from Minnesota, baby. Weezer album, all 16 studio albums ranked. Thanks for watching.